I'm here, bitches! And I brought favors for everybody!
I know it's been a few months since I last posted a video, but I finally did it, guys, as I am recording this video on a brand new mic. And on my last video, a lot of the comments were basically telling me that I need to improve the audio, and that's exactly what I did. So that's why I haven't posted in the last couple months. I went from recording on this to this. But there are a lot of stereotypes around cars as well as the people who drive them. Today we're diving deep into those stereotypes and seeing just how true or false they really are. Starting off with a popular one. Most sports car owners are absolute douchebags. I haven't had the pleasure of owning a sports car yet, but that will change soon enough. Anyway, people have this conception that sports car owners are all irresponsible idiots who only bought their cars to flex them on social media and act like assholes on the road. While I'm sure that's the case for some of the demographic, it's certainly not the case for everyone. It's not fair to group all sports car owners into this little box of automotive delinquents who are the bane of the motoring public's existence. Most sports car owners are hard-working people who just wanted a nice car they could be proud of when they wake up in the morning. Sure, some of them are obnoxious and don't deserve to have the cars that they have, but to say that about all of them just shows how bitter and jealous you are of their success. The next stereotype is most Mercedes owners are bougie and only bought one as a status symbol. I can't even lie, there's some truth in this one. Most people who buy Mercedes-Benz are people who want to look like they live a luxury lifestyle, and so they buy a luxury car to help feed that image. Honestly, this is kind of the case for most luxury cars, but this case is the most prominent in Mercedes-Benz. But people are forgetting that luxury cars aren't cheap, not only to buy, but to maintain. Most of them don't have $3,000 to fix an issue that will inevitably come up with their cars. Some people will have that $3,000, but some people also have gone on to learn how to fix their own car so that they don't have to pay that $3,000. The problem with that is that people are lazy, very lazy. And even the people who aren't lazy, they aren't going to want to dedicate hours to fixing their car, especially when it's a lot more convenient to pay a professional to do it for you. Think of it like this. You are capable of cooking your own meal, but cooking your own meal takes a lot of work and a lot of time, not to mention you have to buy your own ingredients, so it's definitely not cheap. So it would be a lot more convenient for you to just go out to a restaurant and order some food that you don't have to cook. But the thing about restaurants is that restaurants are expensive. And if you go and order food from a restaurant every day, you're going to burn through money a lot quicker. Unlike if you were to just stay home and cook your own meals where you would save a lot more money. Car maintenance is a lot similar to this, as if you take your car to a shop, they're gonna charge you borderline extortionate prices just to fix minor issues that frankly would cost a lot less if you did it yourself. However, people don't have the expertise to fix a lot bigger issues on their cars, and so they take them to a shop and they pray that the mechanic does it right. The next stereotype is that no one is original when they build their cars. I call absolute bullshit. There are so many unique and awesome builds that no one has ever done before in the car community. Some of them obviously better than others. Regardless, people's true creativity really gets to shine when they have, creative freedom over what they do with their car. And frankly, I don't understand why people are such assholes when it comes to how people decide to mod their cars when that person is paying all of the insurance. That person is the one paying for all the mods. And more often than not, that person is either A, installing the mods themselves, or B, paying a mechanic in a borderline extortionate amount of money to put the mods in their car and pray that the mechanic does it right. The next stereotype is that car guys are financially fucked and have their priorities all mixed up. This simply just is not true. Cars are a very expensive hobby, as some parts actually cost more than the cars themselves. And car guys, well, most of us, are fully understanding of this, in which they make sure that we don't just dump all our bank account money into a car part, before making sure rent is paid and they have groceries to eat with. There are also some people who would buy a $70,000 car before buying a house, using the excuse, you can drive a car, but you can't drive a house, but you can live in a car. Not understanding that the goal is to not live in your car in the first place. Some guys are worse with their money than others, but the bottom line is not every car guy is financially irresponsible, and some of us actually make sure our priorities are met before spending what little money we have left on car parts. The next stereotype is that V6s are slow. I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to know that this simply is not true. V6s are faster than actually a lot of other cars that are on the road. But again, thanks to social media, we've been, I guess, brainwashed into thinking that V6s are just slow as hell. Especially the Mopar guys. You post your V6 Charger or Challenger to YouTube or Instagram thinking you're gonna get a bunch of congratulations, and what you're really gonna get is the V8 assholes being condescending pricks saying, oh, you couldn't afford a V8, or you should have gotten the V8. Not understanding that, for one, again, not everyone can afford a V8, but even more common is that not everyone wants a V8. A V6 is honestly plenty of power for the average person, especially the average person who isn't into cars. Cars like a 370Z, the G35, and hell, even some Honda Accords have a V6 engine. That amount of power is not only enough for some people, but it's also controllable. Not everyone needs, wants, or can control a 707 horsepower V8 supercharged muscle car. The last stereotype I'll be going over is that newer equals better. This obviously is not true, as if it were, electric vehicles will be way more popular than they are. When you think of a newer car, it's not really the car itself that people want. It's the technology and the features that people really want. Let's use a Corvette as an example. And it's 2025 and people are still buying 25, hell, even 30-year-old Corvettes. You know why? For the simple fact that it's a Corvette. It's an amazing car, and it's the exact same thing with the 90s JDM cars. And honestly, nowadays, if you want Apple CarPlay in your 2004 Taurus, you could buy an aftermarket stereo system, I think, and install it, or pay someone to install it, and boom, you have Apple CarPlay in your old ass car. It goes back to my point in saying that people really only want new cars because of all of the technology that they have and all of the driver assist programs that they get. Older cars are not only less expensive, but they're also more fun. And you really don't need a new car. I know plenty of people who have sports cars that were made in the early 2000s or the late 2000s, or hell, even the 90s. And the other day, actually, I was looking up like 2009 Bentleys, and they were going for like $40,000 to $50,000. So you could get an old ass Bentley, or you could get like a newer Scat Pack, which I think is crazy. But that's it for me though. I hope you guys like the audio change. I think it sounds a lot better, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. Be sure to like the video and subscribe, and we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And with that being said, see you guys next video.